You ready? Come on. Come on. Come on. Walk and talk 32. Alternative deceivers. Water's a little higher. Alternative deceivers. But before we start, I'd like to say thanks to Tam for the Parichis. Much appreciated and valued. I hope those of you who celebrate Christmas, I hope you had a good one. And those who celebrate New Year, I hope you had a good New Year. I usually celebrate New Year around the 21st of March, the first day of spring. Alternative deceivers. I haven't done a video for a while because well, my microphone on my device seems to make passing wind sounds like that, kind of like that. And so I need to suss out what's going on there. I'm sure it's no major deal, but also because these walk and talks are a lot of space, and it's not, and so for me to upload these videos, it's it tears into my budget a little bit. So what I'm considering doing is just recording talks for you, and occasionally doing, obviously keep the walk and talks going, but recording talks for you, maybe covering certain headlines or just picking a subject and talking about it for an hour, and see how many of those I can push out. Plus, being audio only allows the listener to be getting on with other things that they need to be doing in their lives. So, walk and talk 32. The alternative deceivers. There's a lot of alternative deceivers out there. Some of the most well-known so-called speakers of truth are deceiving you and have been deceiving you. And you can tell this because most of them, first, they're loaded with money. Second, there's been absolutely no sign of the system coming for them on any level. They would be deemed as high risk individuals or critical threat entities, but they're not. They're allowed to do and say as they please. They might put a few things in the paper saying, this scandal or that scandal, but it never really goes through with them. Alternative deceivers, something you need to be cautious of, is anybody trying to tell you that this is a simulation, it's like a video game. Anybody telling you that is nonsense. It's nonsense. Anybody telling you that this that they have the power of God themselves, I'm afraid that's a real real lie. I mean, the thing that made all of this, I can't even conceive of, let alone even consider having a a direct connection with, or being one myself. It's inconceivable. I was going to name names, but I'm not sure that that's the way to present this video. Anybody out there pushing the new age nonsense? Is an alternative deceiver. The alternative deceivers are there to give you, to be another channel that gobbles you up, and they will give you some levels of truth, and then they will send you down a bottomless pit of nonsense, so that the truth gets thrown out with their nonsense. You see, you only have to mention the truth to the sleepers, and the sleepers are like, oh, is it aliens or reptilians or lizards? So you can see how they disgrace the real truth. And none of the alternative deceivers give you real truth, you know, of the things that are important. Like, for example, you know, some pretty important ones would be, what's the difference between the spirit and the soul, wouldn't you say? Or another important one would be, what's the difference between enlightenment and illumination? But none of them have ever told you that. None of them. None of those alternative deceivers have ever said that. It makes me laugh how they get roped in. Another classic from the alternative deceivers is that it's all Israel, everything is Israel's fault, everything is the Jews. And that's a lie as well. Again, they're used, yes, but it's not. That's not the enemy we're facing. Not at the top, at the highest level. You see these alternative deceivers, they've got studios and they're talking daily. None of them have experienced a level of harassment or targeting that real people who tell the truth have been subjected to. Perhaps one day I will share with you what things I've been subjected to, but they're pretty incredible. I spent a lot of time and money trying to dismantle and destroy me in multiple ways, multiple tactics, multiple methods, and by the luck of, or by the grace of whatever it is, I'm still here and doing what I'm doing. And that comes down to, I think, for example, all of the people that I've helped and healed, which over the last 4 years has been hundreds, well over 100 people I've healed and cured, and people suffering from multiple problems. And if the system had been successful with denying me or incarcerating me, then they would not have. Those people would not have been healed, and I don't think things like that are permitted to happen at this stage of the game. But back to the alternative deceivers. Should I name them? Should I name and shame them? I don't really want to, but I think you know who they all are. I think you know who they all are. Anybody that's saying it's a simulation, anybody with money, anybody that's allowed to speak and have a channel without any harassment, yeah, they can get pumped off of YouTube. They can get kicked off of YouTube. And then they pretend like, oh, I'm the one getting kicked off of YouTube, and look. And that's, that's nonsense, right? Some of them, they change their beliefs and faiths at the drop of a hat. a lot of them are there as well to provide a surveillance mechanism on you and to change opinions, to change the opinions of those who are asking questions. There's so much, it's a big topic, and there's so much I can cover. I hope my microphone hasn't started breaking wind. I hope this is recorded okay. I don't want to do the video too long in case that that noise through the microphone starts to come through, which is annoying. But yeah, alternative deceivers, be aware of them. Those with a big audience allowed to speak are usually alternative deceivers. I'll give you actually an example of people speaking that seem not to be alternative deceivers. One of those is James Corbett of the Corbett Report. He's a good lad, very good work. He's been doing it for years. Who else? Well, we've got Melissa Watt, and we used to have Alan Watt, and those are pure examples of people who are not alternative deceivers. Anyone mentioning, like I say, anybody who tells you it's a simulation and this is a computer game is an alternative deceivers. We can call them an AD for short, can't we? An AD. And there's a lot of them out there. And I suppose you've got mainstream alternative deceivers, like people like Tucker Carlson, etc. But I think that'll be all for this video. Be blessed, all of you. Until next time. Hodowski. Say goodbye then, Mr. Roo. Say goodbye, Mr. Roo. What's going on with you? What's blooming going on? Hodowski.